everybody, happy Friday. Hope you're doing very well. And as promised, it's time to start looking at the top 4 tiers of England and the away shirts that the clubs have released for this current season 24-25. Now, there's going to be some great shirts coming up. There's going to be some pretty standard shirts coming up. And I've only really given it sort of a rough look at them, so it's possible I might have missed some subtle details that would have caused them to rise up in the list, or possibly even drop. And of course, it's just a bit of fun, so don't find it too insulting if your club is towards the bottom. However, if you are a Notts County fan, you are bottom. And the reason for that is, well, you are going to see some simple design shirts higher up. I think it's a combination of the colour and the sponsor that's just really not doing anything for me. MK Dons, they always find themselves towards the bottom, and it's nothing to do with the club itself. It's just that they don't really put much effort into the design. You've got this reverse stitching, and then that's it. It's red, so what more can you say about that? Then we have Bromley. This is just seemingly a pretty simple Macron shirt that they've just put a sponsor on the front. So again, there's not really anything else I can talk about other than it being just basic. Then we have Northampton Town away. They've got a combination of yellow and sort of maroon. But again, other than that, there isn't much going on. It's just fine. Then we have Birmingham City. This one's a little bit higher just because the black and white colour scheme looks okay. But in essence, it's just the simplest of Nike shirts. Then we have Swindon Town. I couldn't even find a decent image of this lot. Again, it's an Adidas template. There's a little bit of design on the template. That's the reason why this one's slightly higher than the other one. And I suppose the colour is quite cool. Also, Barnsley, they've had a pretty rough season with it, to be honest. This one is a Puma shirt. I believe it's got, I would only suspect, is the Yorkshire Rose as the sort of the design of the shirt. But other than that, yeah, no. Leicester City. Well, this is a club that has put some thought into the design, I think. But for me, it's not working. It's not doing it for me. Some people might think it looks good, but no, not for me. This one, I don't know if it's just the image, but the proportions look all weird. It's like it's too big and thick and doesn't fit, and then it's got a bit on this sleeve, but then not on this. No, not for me. Southampton, yeah, just too bright, way too bright. It's yeah, that's not a good one. And then Port Vale, similar sort of thing. The fact that there's a bit of pink on it, I'm just going to say that's why it rated slightly higher. But I get it's an away shirt, you can do that, but nah. Preston North End, interesting one. They've decided to do something different. You've got almost a cross on there, but with more crosses running across it, and it's centralised. They've tried, but it's not doing anything for me. Now we have Sheffield Wednesday. They had a decent home shirt, if I remember. This one just reminds me of an Istanbul Basaksehir shirt from Turkish team that I have, which is a Macron shirt, which is orange and has got a similar style. Obviously, I presume they still don't have a sponsor, but if they do, it might make it look slightly better, but just simple. Exeter City, another one of the simple shirts. This one, I think just because it's got a little bit of gold on, that usually helps a shirt in my opinion. But yeah, pretty standard. Colchester United, another one of those standard ones. It's a Macron shirt. There's some subtle sort of embossed vertical stripes in there somewhere. Just a very plain effort. Then we have Barrow away, Puma with a interesting design, yellow and black. Not really sure what it stands for. It's just sort of a horizontal stripe design, but with no specific measurements going on. Then we have Burton Albion, of course, still with tag. I mean, I understand loyalty, but surely there's better designs out than this. Then we have Harrogate Town with New Balance. The home shirt wasn't particularly amazing. This one's okay, pretty decent colour, a little bit of design going on, so it's fine. And we have Gillingham away. Not one of the first teams, and not going to be the only team that has a Macron shirt with everything centralised. Usually I like a yellow shirt, but I don't know. Just yeah, not jumping out at me. Wigan Athletic. This one's an interesting design. It's what I would say is, if the yellow band where the crests and logo are, if that was extended further down to include the sponsor, and you didn't have to have the block sponsor underneath, I think that would look really smart, and this would jump much higher up in the list, but because of it, it looks a little bit clunky. It's here. Portsmouth, it's fine. It's quite a cool colour scheme, and you've got some simple pinstripe horizontals, but it is still relatively basic. Leyton Orient, another one of those Puma shirts that's just got an interesting design, sort of a wave going down the front. It's an interesting colour, it's like a grey, it seems like it is, but yeah. Then we have Crawley Town, who are pretty lazy because I believe the home, the away and the third shirts are the exact same shirt design, so this is just a different colour scheme, so because of that, I'm not going to rate it that highly. Stevenage, slightly better than the home shirt, which I really didn't like, but this sponsor just makes any shirt looks terrible, to be honest. So it's higher than the home, but it's still not particularly high. Liverpool, one of the big clubs, are finally up. It's really just uninspiring, isn't it? For a big club like Liverpool, like it's not terrible, but it's just not good. Rotherham United away. I think I quite like the design on the front of this, but the fact that it kind of doesn't go on the sleeves or it tapers around the centre, there's something that's just missing. Crew Alexandra, you've got the sort of lightning bolt zigzags running across the front. Interesting design, but it intersects too much with the logos and the crest, so it's a bit messy. Then we have Doncaster Rovers away shirt. Nice colour. Everything fits quite nicely in sort of, again, those pinstripe horizontals. I like how it extends up the cuffs there. But I think it's very similar to the home shirt, so again, a bit lazy. Huddersfield Town away. I think it's a clean shirt, but it's not particularly spectacular, and the colour scheme's not my personal favourite choice, so it looks okay, but there's certainly better shirts. Ooh, Brentford, and it's a pink shirt. Might be surprised to see this one low down on my list, but again, look, if I was collecting shirts and I was collecting English teams, I'd still get it for the pink part of the collection, but the actual design is a bit, I don't know if pink and purple works. Coventry City. Usually Coventry City find themselves sort of the top 15, especially with Hummel, but I think this one, it's again, it's fine, but it's not spectacular. You know, the sponsor looks a bit meh, and the design's quite subtle, so they could do better. AFC Wimbledon, it's an interesting colour scheme. It's sort of like a grey and a blue colour there. Not something that you see often, and I think I know why, because it's not particularly beautiful, but it's fine. Stockport County, another one of those pink shirts. I think it's a slightly better shade of pink, this one. I quite like the crest being pink also, and the sponsor is, whilst quite large, it's simple enough, so it's okay. Cheltenham Town, I think they're just carrying across the away shirt from last season, so fair play to them for doing that. And the design is fine, it's okay, it's not amazing, but it's decent, so, you know, this is a reasonable place to put it. Then we have Brighton away. It's fine, you've got the stripes, you've got the nice little breakup for the sponsor going on there, yellow. Not a huge fan of the navy going on, but it's decent. Charlton Athletic, this time we've got another yellow shirt with some like black colouring going on there. Quite cool, a little bit of design going on. It's pretty standard, I'd say. Chesterfield, it's got an interesting one, this one. It's like, it reminds me of like, I don't know, like a rock formation, like lava or something. Black and pink. And the yellow, like you're not going to miss this shirt out and about, but it's maybe a bit too much for some people. Manchester United, yes. I don't like navy for Manchester United, and I think the shirt design is not spectacular, to be honest. I look at this and I think that's not almost like a football shirt, training top or something. I don't know, something I don't like. Everton, okay, fine. It's okay. I quite like tessellated shapes, so any shirt that has that on there, it seems to work quite well. But you know, it's where it is. Another grey shirt, Cardiff City. Pretty cool, grey and green colour combination again that doesn't find itself too frequently used. You've got the checkerboard styling. You've got everything seems to be placed quite nicely. The Visit Malaysia is not perfect, so it finds itself mid-table-ish. Nottingham Forest away, you've got that Adidas template that's very popular and prominent. It's got the pink on it, very vibrant pink, and the navy, and this sort of off-centered sort of zigzag, almost like a diagonal going across the front. That's okay. Burnley away, another one, a shirt that's got a little bit of pink on this time. It's a little bit more subtle. It's just the crests. Sponsor, not a huge fan of the way it looks on it against, to be honest, but it's got this interesting sort of blacky, whitey, grey pattern there. Then we've got Plymouth Argyle. This one's a pretty simple one. You've got the sort of the boats from the crest that sort of slowly, I presume it's just sort of screen printed across the front all the way. It's okay. Then we have Wrexham. popular club right now, of course, still with Macron. Very, very good design. If I remember correctly, this is meant to resemble something like a dragon's scales, skin or something like that. I'm sure I read that. That's alright. Decent idea behind that one. Wycombe Wanderers away shirt. It's green. I quite like it. It's got a lot of stripes on. It's got many, many stripes on. Thick, thin, multiple, spaced out. It's fine. It's fine. Salford City. I think it's the same template as the home shirt, but this one, I quite like the colour scheme. I like the fact that it's green at the top and then sort of purple down at the bottom, and green and purple. It works. Something about this works. It is quite simple, but it works. Stoke City, I feel like they have a blackout shirt like every other season, and because of that, it doesn't do anything for me, so it's fine, but a bit boring now. Another blackout shirt, just because this one's got seemingly some sort of camouflage element towards it. That's why I sort of positioned it a little bit higher. Then we have Mansfield Town, another sort of green shirt. I quite like the green and the crest going on there. It's Castor. Very, very, very interesting pattern. It's sort of like some 90s styling going on. Then we have Sheffield United with an interesting style. It's got the blade going across the front there, it seems. Obviously no sponsor yet either. It's going to be difficult to put a sponsor on there because there's not really much room style-wise, but maybe that will happen and it might look good. Aston Villa, this one is a clean shirt. It's fine. It's got a nice collar on it, but maybe they could have done a little bit more, considering they're now in the Champions League. Ooh, look who it is. It's Chelsea. So this one I was really excited for when I first saw it get released, and I didn't look at it too closely. I just saw it. I thought, right, this is beautiful. I love a white Chelsea shirt. All the white Chelsea shirts that I have in my collection work really well. And then I saw it in person, and I went, "What?" Cole Palmer. It's not white. It's like off-white. It's like a peach. It's almost like you're getting towards a pink. And I wasn't expecting that, and I like that off-white colour usually, but this one doesn't work for me. So because it personally disappointed me, it's further down than maybe it should be. Maybe. A sponsor will probably help it. I don't like that crest either. Okay, I like the crest. I don't like the colour scheme of that particular crest. Yeah. Oh, disappointing. Fulham, rivals, of course. This one, I mean, look, it's pretty simple in styling. It's got the vertical stripes. You've got the red and the black. It just works. It's quite nice. Fulham seemingly don't have to do much with their shirts, and they just seem to work. It's like the club itself. They don't do anything spectacular, but they're not bad. They just sort of, yeah, kind of just do things well. Accrington Stanley, I think I've already reviewed this one and said it was quite good. Looking at it again, it's good, but it's not amazing now. It's just a sort of interesting style going on the bottom there. Then we have Fleetwood Town. This one's quite good with sort of the rope/chain style running across the front. You don't really see that too often on shirts. So if it wasn't for that, it would probably be much lower down, but I quite like that. Then we have Morecambe away. I think the home shirt I rated quite highly as well. I think it looks really well. Everything sits nicely. You've got the colour, you've got the split up between the two vertical stripes and the sponsor. And also, you've got like grey here, and then on the other half, the grey runs down the side. Interesting. Arsenal, it's the Lynx Africa shirt, a shirt that people have kind of been giving it a lot of stick. And I was looking at this for a while, and I was staring at it, and I was thinking, it's not bad, like it's not terrible. I don't think it's terrible. Things that I think frustrate me is those kind of camouflage bits that are on the sides, which has to be because of the template they use. If it wasn't for that, I think it'd be quite smart. Whether you say Arsenal is sort of a black, green and red, maybe not, but it's okay. Spoilers. The London rivals, the North London rivals. Look, if the Spurs chicken was positioned on the left, so it was symmetrical, I think this is a really cool shirt. It kind of reminds me a little bit like a baseball style shirt. It's not beautiful, but I look at it and I go, yeah, okay then, fine, we'll let them have it. Grimsby Town. I just think this is just a pretty cool shirt, to be honest. I like the colour scheme. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know, I'm thinking like cornflakes, something like a breakfast cereal. But yeah, it's alright, isn't it? Millwall within this very, very sort of dark green colour. I think it's because of the crest. I like the way it's just sort of really dark. It's like a really sort of powerful, stealthy sort of colour going on there. Yeah, it's quite nice. We have Reading away with Macron. It's got this sort of almost like a magma sort of fluid river. There's something going on there. Some fluidity. It's not like a paint that's moving. It's a pretty cool shirt. Newport County VXV manufactured, and it's white, and it's got this very very stylish way of doing the yellow and the black sort of swished across the shoulders and across the front. Very, very nice, and of course taking inspiration from the club crest. Then we have Hull City. I thought we had to put these two together because similar themes, white with sort of yellow and black running across it. I think just because I know Capra probably put a better shirt together, and I think it looks a little bit more cleaner, whereas the other ones are just a little bit more haphazard. So, but they're both fine. Bournemouth, I think this is a shirt that I think it wants to be higher up the list, but I don't think it deserves it, to be honest. The colours are interesting, the design's okay, but the fact that the sleeves are a little bit plain and the sponsor is always interesting. Yeah, I think it's fine. Newcastle United away. Maybe some people watching this, maybe some Newcastle fans going, "Oh, you can't have this so far down. It's a throwback." Okay, fine, but you know, the throwback is the one that will be higher up. This is just another version of it, you know. So it's cool, it's okay, but I think it's just partly because the sponsor. I don't like the sponsor. Luton Town away. I like this one. This is cool. I like that they do their offset sort of vertical stripe going down. It's got this black goes to the white, and it's got a little bit of orange. Smart. Peterborough United away. I think it's because simply the crest on this one. You know how much I like an alternative crest, and I love the nickname, just simply posh instead of their typical sort of crest going on there. If it wasn't for that, it would be much lower down, just because it is rather simple. Considering some other Puma shirts are also much further down. Colour scheme also is pretty cool, but yes, alternative crest. And this one I've paired it together. They're not too dissimilar, and this is the one where it is probably the simplest, and I just looked at it and I thought, yeah, this is doing something for me, this is. Maybe it's because it's Macron, and I like Macron shirts, but I think that's pretty cool. We have Bristol City away shirt. This is another one that I've already reviewed. It depends on the colour. If it looks like this sort of off-white, which is a little bit hypocritical because it looks like almost it's going to be the same as the Chelsea one, but I think this one maybe looks better with the maroon, but I think that's okay. West Brom, this one is... Look, if this one didn't have what looks like to be a block sponsor, okay, it looks like it's been block sponsored on and somehow it was positioned and the lines were broken up, this one would be really smart. I think it's because it's got the West Brom crest embossed, screen printed, whatever, into the shoulders and the sleeves. So that gives it a little bit of design. I like a pinstripe. I like a yellow, so that one's smart. Bradford City, another smart shirt, another Macron, and this is one where they've obviously broken up those stripes for the sponsor there, and you've got, again, maybe embossed sort of initials of the crest in the straps, but not also there. You also have it across the shoulders as well, so that's a nice little detail going on. Then we have Bolton Wanderers, another Macron shirt, and this one would probably be higher up the list if the colours were just a little bit different. There's something about the green that's just, yeah, it's a little bit not for me personally, but I like a shirt with a map on. It's a lovely shirt. I love the trims, the detailing across the collar and the cuffs, but if the colour was just slightly different, it'd be much higher up. Walsall, we have another Macron shirt here, and am I right thinking that the design, is it meant to be like tree branches? Because if that's what it's meant to be, and then obviously the birds flying into it, that's a smart thing to do. If it's not, then it's still fine, but I have a feeling that might be what it is. Norwich City with Joma. This is cool. I think the design is, whilst not the most involved, it's just like little dashes of paint almost going. I think it's cool. It looks really well. I think that's a good shirt. Probably on the pitch, it probably looks quite smart. Blackburn, we're back to Macron. Blackburn possibly have one of the best 3 shirt releases for the current season. This one I'd say is possibly the weakest of them. I think it's just partly because the sponsor, it seems, look like it's just a bit too invasive in the way that the stripes, it's not perfect on that one, but it's still nice. Then we have Shrewsbury Town. I think Shrewsbury home shirt was quite highly rated also. This one looks really good. Again, more detailing on the cuffs and on the collar. The white looks well. Maybe I'd have the sponsor just slightly higher up if that's how it's going to be in reality. Yeah, just another clean shirt from Oxon. Then we have Carlisle United. This is the away shirt, and I think this is like the better version of that Bournemouth one, that similar colour scheme. I think it's because it's all over. getting maybe slightly some sort of 90s vintage vibes going on there. You've got the pink crest. The sponsor seems to work with it. I think that's a cool shirt. Leeds United away. Yes, it's just that old Leeds crest, isn't it? Again, I'm a sucker for an older crest. It's a clean shirt. Regardless of what I think about the club, I think that's okay. Manchester City, it's another one of those little throwback ones there, and you know they've done it quite well. Puma can do a good shirt, and this is one of those. And I like how the sponsor again fits very nicely in there. Yeah, it's fine. Then we have West Ham away shirt. This one you might look at it and go, it looks pretty simple, but it's quite a subtle one. This one, you've got the building design on the inside, or sort of imprinted into the body of the material, which goes sort of from top to bottom. Love those specific things. You know, I like to see sort of monuments on a football shirt. Then we have Crystal Palace away shirts. This one you might look at it and go, oh, that's just very... No, hang on a minute. It's the eagle. The eagle's there. You can see it. Obviously, the crest. You've just got the crest this time. You've got no text or anything like that. I think that's great. Macron and Crystal Palace do good stuff. Then we have Ipswich Town away shirts. We have an Umbro one here this time. Again, we've already looked at this one and said it was quite good. Like the design, like the colour scheme, bit of gold. So, yep, fair play to him on that one. Then we have in the top 10, Lincoln City. This one is it's a really smart shirt. I was looking at it and I just thought, you know what? That's actually really good. Everything sort of fits nicely. The club crest, which is always a great crest, fits nicely in the sash. It's broken up for the sponsor. Sponsor's just a nice little simple university one like that. And yeah, I love the sort of additional reds. Just a great shirt. Sunderland in 9th, the away shirt. Yeah, it's good. Those shoulder detailings are beautiful. Really, really good. The main body's pretty simple, and I like that sort of alternative crest they've got going on there. Yeah, yeah, good stuff from them. Tranmere Rovers away, another one of the shirts that I think we've already sort of reviewed briefly before. Mills, I think this is just a beautiful shirt. Why did I think of this? Some sort of celebrating some sort of anniversary. Regardless, just a beautiful colour combination. Just wonderful. Then we have Blackpool, again, another one of the shirts that we have reviewed. It's just... this one's just wild, isn't it? It's just crazy. We've got the ribbons going everywhere almost. The Pleasure Beach sponsor. Some people might not particularly go for this one, but I think it's quite a fun shirt. This one really does it for me. And I think it's just because of the colour scheme. You've got like a mint green and like a chocolate and then a yellow. It reminds me of those sweets. They're like, what are they? Mint chocolate licorice or something else. I'll try and find an image. Grandma used to have them all the time. It just looks really good. Maybe in person it might not be as good, but for me, I just think that's just a smart shirt. Top 5 now, and we are. Well, we are with Wolves. Sudo, and this one is a powerful shirt. Well, it has the wolf definitely on the shirt there with the mouth open. Doesn't quite match up with the start of the season that the club is experiencing. It's again one of those ones where in person maybe it's not quite as striking, and that's the reason why I've not put it sort of at the top. But fair play to him. That's definitely a design. Cambridge United, another one of the shirts that we've reviewed earlier on in the season. Beautiful shirt. I think, again, because the reason why this one's not quite at the top is because it is rather involved. Some people might look at that and go, there's just too much. Like that's just way too much. It distracts me when I'm watching it, etc. But they've put a lot of effort into it, and you can't deny a club who do that. Watford shirt. I didn't see this until I started doing this video, and this is very nice. I always love an offset vertical. Fits perfectly within the club crest. I love the color combination of the yellow and the red, and then the WFC initials inside this sort of bodied design. That's a classy shirt. Fair play to Watford. Second place, just missing out on top spot, is QPR, Queen's Park Raisins. Araya, beautiful. Look, it's black and gold. It's a cheat code. It always finds itself towards the top whenever it is it. I love the detailing running across the sleeves and the shoulders, the green and the sort of the gold and the red and the trims. Nice. Fair play, fair play. But who is number one? Which club haven't we mentioned yet? It is Middlesbrough, yes. Look, I've already alluded to this before. Middlesbrough, it's a beautiful, beautiful one. If you can find a great image of this shirt, you can truly see the detailing. Araya found themselves now not just second, but first. So fair play to them. They've done very well. Great colour scheme. I think again this was a bit of a sort of a throwback to a shirt the club's used previously. Yeah, it's just a clean effort. Just fair play to the club. And that is it. Those are the 92, I believe, clubs that we have sort of given a review for. What do you think? Is your club worse, better than you would have anticipated? Is there any of these that you would want to add to your collection? For me as a Chelsea fan, just slightly disappointed. Obviously, I'll still get it when we get a sponsor, but I wish it was white. If it was white, it would have been higher. So that's it, really. Yes, 92 away shirts. Nothing terrible, really. Just some pretty simple standard designs. Anyway, the next time I do another review will be, I can't remember if we did Germany next or was it Spain. I think it was Germany. So we'll jump into there and we'll hopefully see some pretty cool stuff from there. Guys, hope you have a great weekend ahead. Football is back. Chelsea, Liverpool. Great. Thank you for watching my videos. Goodbye.